One very important part of maintaining your home has nothing to do with the structure at all. It has to do with how well you keep your shrubs and your trees trimmed back away from the house. If you don't do that, it can cause you a lot of problems. Here's a good example. Buried back in here somewhere, you can hear it but you can hardly see it, is an air conditioning condensing unit. And this needs a lot of space around it for it to work properly. And if you have all the leaves and straw falling around it, it can cause it to rust a lot quicker, and that can cost a lot of money. Here's another problem if you don't trim things back and keep them away from the house. Look at this, how this overgrown shrub's pushing right up against the eave of this house. Now, fortunately, it has vinyl covering it, but if it was just wood like we see all the time, it can really cause a lot of damage, and that can get expensive, having to remove the plywood or whatever materials used on the underside of it and the fascia board and replace all of it. Now, this situation is so bad because the sun and air can't get to this part of the house. It's caused so much water damage that this window unit has actually dropped a couple inches, and all the framing around it needs to be replaced. Now, if this was in a termite prone area, they'd be having a party right here because they love that wet wood to chew away at. And look at the other things that can happen here. Brick mold that just falls apart because of all of the water that gets to it, and it just sits there causing this damage because this is blocking the sun from being able to dry it all out. But you know, you need to keep everything trimmed back away from the house, at least 12 to 18 inches, to allow that circulation and the penetration of the sunlight.